Hello Internet, we are back on Showdown today and we're going to be playing with a slightly different team. Now, someone, not really sure who, under the alt name of Pokémon VGC has been using this team quite successfully on the ladder. This is my variation of it. I've put in my own spreads and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to hop in, we're going to do some games. Now this is quite an interesting team. There are lots of things that look like they don't really work and I'm not convinced it actually does work, but whoever that person was on that alt, they did get very, very high on the ladder. And so the team obviously has got some merit, but I don't know. I mean, it's obviously the team works in some way, but maybe I find it a little bit odd that there's Rayquaza and Groudon together, because you've kind of got to get your Rayquaza to Mega Evolve first before you even bring the Groudon out to protect it from Kyogre's attacks and all that kind of stuff. Sylveon I do really like. The Sylveon spread that I've put on here is actually a pretty nifty one. It's slow for Trick Room, it's really nice actually. I think here we're going to go with Sylveon and Rayquaza. I think because it looks a bit Trick Roomy, Cresselia is quite nice, and Groudon in the back as well. Because Showdown is, as public as it is, you can go and watch the replays of anyone really, any saved replay. You can search their name, you can watch through some games. So I've watched through a few of that alt and got a bit of a flavour for the team and sort of scouted it out a little bit, I suppose. So maybe I've got some kind of idea of how to use the team, but I'm sure not as good of an idea as the person who made it, obviously. But I don't know, it's interesting. I do like Sylveon. There are a few little surprises here. As we can see, we've got Quick Attack on Sylveon as well, which can pick off Smeargles from the sash and all that kind of stuff. It's just one of those teams that I think is a little bit awkward to use, but obviously in the right hands it can do quite well. So it's just one of those really. I think we're just going to double protect here, just to be extra safe. We'll get the speed boost on the Kangaskhan as well. If he power up punches himself, then good for him. It would be a pretty optimal time for him too, which he hasn't done. No, he's just targeted down that Sylveon. So Sylveon looks like either he predicted Rayquaza to protect there, or Sylveon really is an issue for him. So what we're going to do now is actually go for a Helping Hand. Helping Hand, Draco Meteor or Dragon Ascent would knock out the Kangaskhan. We are going to knock it out. But do I want the drops or do I want the potential chance to miss and the special attack drop? Because if he brings in... I think I'm going to go for the Draco Meteor, because I don't think he's going to want to bring in his Primal Groudon next. So we'll do this. I will outspeed this turn. I'm just thinking if he brings in his Kyogre, then I can do the same thing but with a Dragon Ascent. But yeah, so we're faster and we get that one shot there. We are Life Orb. This Rayquaza does do big chunks of damage to things. Now that's unfortunate that he gets the Thunderbolt Paralysis on us. That is actually really annoying, because this Rayquaza is faster than everything on the rest of his team. And we'll just one-shot it, really. I mean, the Whimsicott's probably got the sash, but will he have brought that and Thunderous? Surely he's got some restricted Pokemon in the back too. Yes, and that is annoying, because Rayquaza would just be able to do exactly the same thing onto that Kyogre. So, frustrating, annoying, all the rest of it. So, it's probably going to Ice Beam, expecting a potential Groudon switch. So I'm going to put in Cresselia and protect my Rayquaza here, hoping I don't get fully paralyzed. This Cresselia does have Trick Room on it as well, so maybe I can try and utilize that. Cresselia doesn't have a Mental Herb though, so he would be free to just taunt it. A Helping Hand, Life Orb boosted Extreme Speed would do a lot of damage to this Kyogre as well. But yeah, that paralysis has put a really big spanner in the works, actually. Because, yeah, I went for the Draco Meteor there, thinking that, if anything, it's going to be his Kyogre that comes in. Kyogre very threatened by Dragon Ascent. So, he Thunderbolts, and he does Ice Beam there. Okay, so we do get the Cresselia in. Now, he might expect He might just expect the Trick Room. He might taunt here. Yeah, actually, I think I am just going to go for a Helping Hand Extreme Speed. Just because it'll put Kyogre maybe even in Eruption range. You never know. This is a special Groudon, by the way, not physical. With Eruption, it's actually got Hidden Power Ice on it as well, which is pretty nifty, I suppose. Catches Salamence off guard. Salamence could maybe be an issue. Is faster than Rayquaza after all. But I don't know. Cresselia is quite nice, and Sylveon's obviously quite nice against it too. No taunt, and we do get the extreme speed. That's not in eruption range, but it is a lot of damage even still. Yeah, I don't mind that. I can put Groudon in. Threaten his Groudon with an Earth Power. Or I could Trick Room for Sylveon, but I think we've got to put Groudon in here. Yeah, not the greatest of positions, to be honest. Is maybe going to switch the Kyogre and protect the Groudon. I think surely he's got to protect the Groudon. Like, his Groudon, it might be max speed though. I mean, a lot of teams now are minimum Kyogre max Groudon, and he might just stay in and try and pick me off with his own Earth Power. So, I don't know, this is a little bit tricky. I could Trick Room and Protect, because then at least I'm getting a safe skill swap onto Groudon for the Levitate too. But if I do that and he brings in the Thunderous, I don't know, let's do that actually. Let's Trick Room and Protect. And we'll see how we'll see how he plays this. If he's going to be all aggressive and just attack with his Groudon. If he does, then it's probably max speed. And even in Trick Room we're going to be speed tying. Or if he protects and withdraws. So, he substitutes. So, that's a bit frustrating. So I'm just going to have to hope he doesn't taunt my Cresselia now, because I can still skill swap and erupt here. If he taunts, then it's almost game over. But that was a bit risky for him. Oh, okay, so fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I did that basically to get the Levitate on my Groudon. I'm not really sure why he did that, just trying to be a bit smart, but that worked out for us. And he just forfeits, yeah, so interesting first game to start off, but we'll search for another one. Without the paralysis on the Mega Rayquaza, that game would have been so much quicker and so much easier as well, so that Thunderbolt really screwed us there. But how shall we go about this? So maybe he's going to be leading with Crobat and trying to Tailwind. That is potentially going to be an issue. I could go Groudon Smeargle. I think we'll go Groudon Smeargle with Rayquaza and Sylveon in the back. And we'll see how this plays out. Okay, so Kangaskhan Crobat, really sort of typical lead, really. To be expected when you're using a Smeargle as well, I guess. It's probably going to go for Fake Out Taunt, maybe. Or maybe Fake Out. No, he doesn't need to Tailwind right now. So probably just a Fake Out and Taunt. So I'll just double Protect on this turn. Yeah, Fake Out. I thought he'd Fake Out the Groudon, actually. He does go for the Tailwind. Okay, so I think, yeah, he doesn't have his own Kyogre. I can actually just go for a Follow Me Eruption. Like, Super Fang will hit Smeargle first, and then he'll, knock it out with a Double Edge or whatever, and I'll get this really powerful Eruption off, potentially knock out both of his Pokemon. So, even if he got that turn 1, he got the Tailwind there. Smeargle is still putting in work here. Yeah, it's not even Power Up Punch either, so this is potentially going to knock out both of them. And it does do, yeah. So, that's Smeargle for you. So it's probably going to be not Manectric. It's probably both of his restricted Pokemon, to be honest, which is a little bit scary, as we were in Tailwind. Rayquaza is is obviously nice against his Groudon, but not against the Kyurem, Sylveon probably won't be able to survive like an Ice Beam and Precipice Blades. We'll put Sylveon out though, and just with the intention of trying to knock out the Kyurem, I suppose. I mean, if I double protect, maybe his Groudon has got substitute like in that last game. I'm a bit worried about that, but I feel like he has to attack here because like he needs to knock the Sylveon out. So I'm gonna double protect. Like, it seems really safe, but I think it's the way to go with this. And he's actually got Eruption himself. And he, well, okay. Well, please do that again, because if he'd just done that and I got my Hyper Voice off, because Sylveon will survive an Eruption here, I'll be able to knock out the Kyurem, Rayquaza will come in all happy and finish the game off. So we'll try and Earth Power, we'll try and Hyper Voice. Sylveon, as you can see, easily survives just there. And an Icy Wind doesn't knock the Sylveon out, so Sylveon, Hyper Voice should knock the Kyurem out. That does not knock the Kyurem out. That has to be an Assault Vest Kyurem. Now that is a bulky Kyurem. That's really interesting. But if it is Assault Vest, it can't protect, so I can just Extreme Speed, Quick Attack it to knock it out. And phew, yeah. And then the Draco Meteor will knock out the Groudon from there. Yeah, wow. So interesting. And yeah, we'll go for a Draco Meteor. It can miss, obviously, but you know, we're gonna hope it doesn't. And so we'll search for a third game as well, as we're on Showdown. Not been on Showdown on this alt for a little while, so we've probably decayed a little bit there. But yeah, interesting. Like, it's actually somewhat enjoyable, this. Well, here we go. This is not going to be enjoyable. And this, I felt this is one of the biggest weaknesses of this team. Like, the replays of this team being used against Big Six, they always get the rolls. Like, or they're playing like a non-Focus Sash Smeargle, or there's something, you know, something that goes well for them. Like, a well-played Big Six will just beat this. And I don't know. We'll go Groudon Smeargle, and I think we'll go Rayquaza Sylveon as well. I think that's the idea. Yeah, Kangaskhan Xerneas. Right, so it's going to... Well... We're just going to go for an Eruption Dark Void, I think. Like, you know... Either is going to knock the Smeargle out. Yeah, either we're getting an Eruption off or is going to sleep, really. If he does, like, and this is another problem as well, if the Xerneas is faster than Groudon, which most of them are, he'll get his Geomancy before I actually get to, okay, you know, before I actually get to Erupt on them. But, ooh, well, there you go, how about that? That is a slow Xerneas, and he goes for the Geomancy as well. So, like, this is what I was on about, this is the sort of thing that actually, has been going, like, in the favour of this team. Like, if that Xerneas was, like, timid, like normally they are, that Eruption would have done, what, like 40%? Something like that. It would not be in Extreme Speed range, it would not be in Quick Attack range even, like it is now from Sylveon. So, you know, happy days, really. It's not going to be Salamence in the back either, so it's either going to be Groudon or Talonflame or Smeargle. So I think we'll put Rayquaza in actually, just because, oh, I don't know, I mean, if it's Talonflame, Quick Attack will stop either of them, but Extreme Speed can get around Follow Me if it's Smeargle. Okay, I'll put Rayquaza in, and it is Talonflame. Right, so you've got to imagine it's going to go for a Quick Attack, so I'm just going to Earth Power and Protect, I guess. If he Moonblasts and Brave Birds the Groudon, then good for him. If I put the Sylveon in here, then we're still be in maybe a similar sort of situation, I guess. Yeah, he does Quick Guard. I mean, he had to. And, you know, like I was saying, because it wasn't timid, that was even in Earth Power range as well. And Special Groudon normally doesn't do that well against You know, a Geomanted Xerneas. We're still not out of the woods just yet, though. I mean, Rayquaza is obviously very nice here, but like he might protect, excuse me, protect the Groudon and Tailwind, and that is kind of what I'm worried about. So I think I'll go for an Earth Power here, but I'm going to go for a Dragon Ascent onto the Talonflame as well. No, there's nothing like that. Okay. So if we win a Speed tie, we win. If we lose a Speed tie, then we're potentially losing this. But we win a potential Speed tie and get that. Okay, so interesting actually. Interesting games. Interesting team as well. Just while he's still with me as well. As you can see, we've got this sort of thing going on with Battle Spot on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Showdown on Tuesday and Thursday. I've sort of got into a bit of a routine doing this. I quite enjoy it. So if you like it as well, then let me know in the comments too. You know, all your feedback I obviously appreciate too. So thanks a lot for watching this, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and share and do all the other stuff as well. So thank you, and goodbye for now.